Hey guys, this is Wade Willis here for Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. We are covering Backlash, the newest WWE PLE, and we have a lot of opinions on this. And I'm here with some of my friends here.
Ringside P here with the Super Kick Podcast.
And I'm Marlon with Then, Now, Whatever.
All right, guys. Overall, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Marlon, I know you finished it like 1 minute ago, so I'm sure it's a little bit more fresh for you than me. I feel like we all stagger on this because I watched it live, and then the rest of you kind of Pierre, you watched it, and then Marlon
Yeah,
finished it up. So, but yeah, what are your guys' thoughts overall for this?
it for me, it was a lot better than I anticipated it to be. I expected it to be because there wasn't much build up for everything, right? And so I just thought it was kind of like a throwaway, like PLE. And I mean, and it's still the same sense it kind of is, But we did get some storylines a little bit established a little bit more. We had a title change, which was cool. Uh, but for the most part, everything kind of still played out in the way that I kind of expected it to. The champions that were already champions still were champions. So nothing too fresh, but still solid, especially without much build up for me.
How about you, Marlon?
Yeah, for a card that looked predictable, and I should have given WWE the credit that they deserve for these quote unquote predictable looking cards. They're always fun, they're always surprising. There's always some type of substance injected into the story and into these characters. And overall, for Backlash, I freaking loved. I loved the action of what it was. So, yeah, but yes, I loved it. And yeah, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess for me, I thought um I enjoyed this a lot, but I feel like this PLE was like really carried by the crowd.
Yeah,
Um, like if you would have put these matches in like St. Louis, this would have been like kind of a mid PLE, but the
yeah,
French crowd, man, I got to give it to them. They were like unreal because
young crazy. Yeah,
before it even started, I think it was 100 decibels in there, which is like pretty loud. Like you're gonna get a
yeah.
warning on your Apple Watch for how loud it is. So
And
um
I saw clips that people were getting warnings about like
yeah.
how dangerous it was, dangerously loud in there. So
And I think I only got one or two of those at WrestleMania.
okay,
And night two, that was like it was pretty loud, but I only got
yeah,
like one or two warnings, I think, on my watch for loudness. But and it certainly was not before it started. So um yeah, I got to give it up for that crowd. But
yeah,
yeah, I was gonna go um kind of in order with the matches and see what we
okay,
thought. Uh, and yeah, I'll just start off in order of the matches. And the first one was Bloodline 2.0 versus RKO,
2.0
and
or 2.3.
2.3, or I don't know what exactly it is, but for me, uh, I guess overall, I would not have started with this match personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I have one critique, I think it was starting with this match because it was like super hot and like you're going right into a street fight, and I feel like I, and in the crowd's defense, like I was like messaging you guys, and I'm like, dude, they put the women's match right after this. That's like the worst spot because usually a street fight, but like that crowd, I thought they were gonna like lose their energy, but they kept strong the whole time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was a bit wrong on that, but I think they probably should have started off with the men's heavyweight match first, because that is this realistically the slowest match, and you still get the hype with the Jey Uso entrance and stuff, but
hmm
um, them going to a street fight, smart idea. I think
yeah,
I was a big fan of that, and it just made the match a lot better. This match was far superior than what my expectations were for it, and I think a lot of it was because of the street fight element.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I just you already like ran over Kevin Owens with a car and stuff. I feel like you should probably have a street fight. So yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense. Like if you like bloody him up, they've had blood like what 3 times this in the last 365 days, maybe.
yeah,
And this is one of the three. Like you need to go to like a street fight,
yeah.
like no
Gotta be a
rules
friend.
thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so and then the reveal not being Jacob
Yeah.
Fatu, I'm like, who the hell is that? And then I was like, oh yeah. So I was pretty blown away with that. But yeah, Marlon, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I texted you guys when Aldis turned it into yeah, when Nick Aldis turned it into a street fight, and I was like, yeah, because it was weird, like you said, Thomas, for them to ramp this up on every segment that they've had, and then for it to go to a normal tag match would have been not a good move, and just to suck the wind out of the whole rivalry at this point. But when he's like, "All right, you guys want to play by the rules? Then all right, we got a street fight right now," and like the crowd popped, and I was like, "Yo, like Aldis is a boss, dude." I know this was probably all premeditated, but just the way he presented it, I
Yeah.
thought was super cool. And then as far as the match itself, yeah, it did slow down a little bit, which is fine, but you knew that there was going to be like something happening, right?
hmm
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just gonna whatchamacallit. But the what was the move that the spot that Kevin Owen did on the 6 chairs?
Oh, the
The
Monster Buster, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was like a
yes.
fisherman's buster. Like, yeah, because it's like a hybrid
Yeah.
between the two, but there's
So
no way
dope.
that didn't hurt, dude.
So dope. And I thought Tama Tonga looked good in this scene. I don't know about like
hmm
wrestling to wrestling, but like I thought he looked great. Taking bumps and giving them too. Tonga Loa, like, did Jacob Fatu cut his hair for this? And then I was like, oh, that is not him. But yeah, definitely took me by surprise. I popped a lot during this match for sure. What about you,
Uh,
Pierre?
for me, like it played out better than I thought it was gonna play out. Like I said, the street fight element was different, and it needed to be added into this match. Um, I was real, I was really looking forward to see what Tom Matata could do because I've never seen him wrestle before. I haven't even did any research on him, so I wanted to see how he was gonna be in the WWE environment like that. And I'm a big fan of like that. He's like a psycho man. Like with
hmm
the way he had the chair, carrying the chair around, it was like he's ready to go nuts at any given moment. And I like that persona or personality that he was showing in the ring. So I'm definitely looking forward to see more of his abilities, not just like in street fights. I want to see punches and kicks. I want to see what other moves that he actually has. Especially in like I said this type of WWE environment. Um, I also kind of was assuming that there was gonna be somebody interfering, a new member of the bloodline or whatnot. I was seeing all the stuff that Jacob Fatu had got signed and stuff. So I was looking forward to seeing that person, seeing him. But I'm also not familiar with Thomas' brother. So I'm like, is that Jacob or something like that? So
hmm
then when Corey Graves said that was his brother, I'm like, well, who is this guy? Now this is another guy that I have to go research about. But
Not the same thing. I was like, okay, gotta get on YouTube and look this up.
the one cool thing that was kind of like a pothole in this new bloodline story was Tama and Solo aren't blood, you know? And so Michael Cole had mentioned something about how, being an Asian Pacific Islander,
hmm
that's the connection. So now you kind of fill in that gap by making it that. So it's like, as being part of the islands, you guys are all connected like that instead of just actual, like, literal, like, bloodline, family like that. So I liked that part of it. The match played like I said, it died down a little bit, but all in all, it's a good start for the new version of Bloodline for me.
Yeah, I thought it did drag a bit, like in the mid, like so. I mean, dude, it started off at like an 11 out of 10. Like that was, that was like I'm like this is gonna be a quick match or something like, but um yeah, they slowed it down. I'm not like the biggest to be honest, Solo was like my least favorite like in there. Like I think he's been much improved since he's like
Yeah,
kind of taken this leadership role, but just his I feel like he was the least dynamic in there.
yeah.
And some of it is his move set. Like he does like I mean sweet cheek music and like the Samoan spike, like Samoan drop. He did a Samoan drop on a table that was kind of sick, but
Yeah,
I mean his move set isn't very like exciting. And Pierre, I thought you brought up a good thing with Tamatonka, like with his craze, like how crazy he is and kind of like unhinged. And I
yeah.
feel like it's so hard to like play that crazy person and not look like a like cartoon
Oh,
character like
yeah.
crazy. And he like somehow he's like on the border, but like generally when someone acts like a crazy person, I'm like, you either need to go like all the way like Joe Gacy, like where you're like a comedy like crazy person, or like just it but he like I think he did a really good job. Like he's very ferocious out there, and it's like kind of scary watching him hit the people. I'm like, is he actually like mad and trying to beat these people up? Like, I'm like, is this a shoot now? Like some of it, but yeah, um, I thought that was really good, and yeah, overall, I'm good with it, and we still have Jacob Fatu to come
Yeah.
in, and apparently there's like another family member that people don't know if they signed or not, but Tongaloa, there's to my knowledge, there was no reports that he had signed. So
Hmm.
this was actually like other than us,
Surprise.
yeah, being like, oh, Jacob Fatu, like him coming in is like a legit surprise. So um yeah, we'll move in. You guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, the one thing too I wanted to point out was the bloodline interest this time. It had a different feel to it to me, as
Hmm.
opposed to when Roman was ahead of it. Um, Roman would come out and you would kind of be all in like awe or admiration. This time it felt like these guys were coming out to kill people,
Yeah,
you know, and it was just that vibe. They had a menacing vibe to them, like they were about to just do bad things. And
Right.
I know it just kind of like resonated through the TV to me. That was like the feeling.
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah,
Heyman's doing
I
a good
agree.
job
Like,
with that.
yeah, even with like Paul Heyman just
Hmm.
not even as involved or not calling
Yeah.
shots, there's a picture on social media of the bloodline putting up their ones and Paul Heyman's kind of in the back, just like,
Deer in headlights.
yeah, he's just like, oh God, like what do I do? He's afraid to acknowledge the new chief and he still wants to help out or follow orders, but you can tell Paul Heyman is shook. So yeah, it's definitely a new feeling, a new vibe, and I'm excited for the groundwork that they're laying now because I know it's just gonna just get more thick and thick
Yeah.
every week. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, he's basically a hostage victim. This is
Yes.
like
Yes.
what it's like. They're like, put your ones up. He's like, oh, like just he's I like think his acting's like funny in general and I enjoy it, but I think he's doing a good job like you actually like feel bad for him. I'm like, this poor guy is just like he's like, yeah, if I don't do this, I'm gonna get murdered. Like this is
Yeah.
terrible. We're like Roman never like threatened. I don't remember him threatening Paul Heyman really. Did he a little
Every
bit?
once in a while, yeah. Not as much as like this, because it was more so like Paul Heyman was always in like awe of Roman,
Yeah.
of service to Roman. But Roman got mad a couple times. You can see Paul Heyman like flinch or something like that.
Hmm.
I feel like that's not highlighted enough too, like just the work that Paul Heyman does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like he tells stories just without even like speaking.
Yeah.
Like you see him and he's like, oh man, this is what I don't know what to do. Should I call Roman? I call Roman. He threw the phone. He tapped on my phone. Should I put the ones up? Or he just he does a great job. And I think that's in this role that you see him do, like this is not highlighted enough that we get so used to seeing him just talk constantly. that I forget sometimes that he's just great, just being out there as a character in general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, so next match, the women's um three-way match. And yeah, I had mentioned earlier I was like a bit worried with like where this was in the card, like going after a street fight, but yeah, like they balled out. I was I mean, if you think about I get like a little bit worried, like I'm a big Tiffany Stratton fan, but I'm like, yo, this crowd's nuts. Like, how's she gonna do? Like it's just this is a big time match. There's a way like you cannot hide in a like you can kind of hide in a triple threat, but not like you
Yeah,
can in the elimination chamber where like everything's going to be exactly planned out for you mean the people in there and it's you mean very staged. And I was I was really impressed with her in this. I felt like this was like another hey, how are you doing?
yeah,
Another um like coming out party where like she was I mean she's like a superstar at this point to
yeah.
me. And I mean if she doesn't win money in the bank it's going to be because she wins the belt before then. That's like the only thing reason I would not see her get that, but I think they're going to have her get that because of the money they'll make from the pink Barbie briefcase. So yeah, I was really
That's
impressed.
right.
Oh, dude, the merch they're gonna sell from that
The
Yeah.
merch.
is gonna be unreal. Every like little girl that's at like a WWE thing is gonna have that
True.
pink briefcase. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Wow. That is genius.
yeah, I mean, I, I was really impressed with this. I thought the pacing was good. It was pretty relentless. Um, Triple threat, you're always gonna have some like where timing's like not like as good as you would want, but
Yeah.
I thought this is my second favorite match of the night, and yeah, just everyone was good in it. Bailey, I'm a huge Bailey fan. Bailey winning, that's awesome. I thought she looked good. Thought Naomi was everyone looked good in it. So, but Pierre, what'd you think on this one?
Um, I think the crowd played a big factor in a lot of the matches tonight. Um, I feel like sometimes the wrestler couldn't call the spots, or they couldn't hear the spots because
Yeah,
I felt like a lot of times I can hear the spots being
yeah,
called, which is rare. You might see it once in a while, or you might catch a camera angle where they're talking to each other, whatever, calling the spots. But this time, I feel like you can. It was noticeable this time.
yeah. They had to like
Uh,
yell at each. I saw Bailey kind of say something one time to like Tiffany.
yeah, it
But
was
it's
like when
like,
they was
dude,
kind of like, yeah, I think she told her to come get her or something like that, or
yeah,
come kick me. Um, but for the most part, Tiffany showed out again. Um, it was a good finish between Naomi and Bailey, where it doesn't really hurt Naomi's character, and she still comes out. Both of them comes out. It's still like good faces. It was like a honorable like win. Um, and then it doesn't hurt Tiffany because she didn't lose. She didn't take a pinfall.
yep,
And so I think I'm on board with you. Like that Tiffany's gonna win Money in the Bank. If not Money in the Bank, Queen of the Ring,
mm,
something like that major coming up. Because I still think even with Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring, you still get a title shot at
yes,
some point. Um, but I think Queen of the Ring will be better. I think that is a area that is missing from WWE is having a a female wrestler with merch that can reach little girls and stuff like that. They haven't had that in a long time. I mean, you even got stuff like with Bianca and stuff, who's been dominant for a long time. She doesn't have like a lot of merch really. It was
no,
surprising.
no,
Even like Bailey as champion, you might see one or two Bailey shirts. You
yeah.
know,
Bailey's is the worst example, like, or technically the best example, because she's like, I mean, dude, they don't even put her on the posters, and she's a champion, like
Yeah.
defending her belt at the pay per view. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
She wasn't at the WrestleMania press conference either, even though she had just won Royal Rumble, which
yeah,
was, I
She,
definitely think Bailey should be getting more shine than she than she's
Well,
getting now.
she's like one of the most over people every PLE too. Like when she's wrestling,
Yes.
like WrestleMania was like I would say maybe Rio is more over than her for women, but I would say she's close second. Like it was loud as hell for Bailey. And then this is like, I mean, if she's in Europe, she's like more popular than Cody Rhodes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like nuts. So
Yeah.
um yeah, but what'd you think, Marlon, on this one?
Yeah, solid spots for sure. Solid wrestling. Everybody got a equal amount of shine from what I remember. And just that ending, my favorite part of the match was the fact that Bailey won with was it a crucifix?
Something
It
like
was
that.
bas it was like a yeah, basically a counter to a roll up where she got rolled up and then kind of rolled into like almost like a cradle type thing. Yeah. But
Loved it.
people
Loved
yeah,
that.
more
I
people need to
feel
get
like
pinned that way. You know
people
what I
need to
mean?
get pinned away. I was thinking, what I was thinking like there's a lot of fundamentals that we take for granted in the wrestling. And Thomas, you would know about this too. Like just the basic moves that we take for granted. Oh, they jumped over the rope. Oh, they bounced off the rope. Or it's like, oh, they were able to do the running rope sequence where they cross, the guy lies on the floor, and then they do the leapfrog over. Like I want to see those moves be what they are. And I want them to have effect on the match, not just as like a dance, but as like, yeah, we could still win with the reverse pinup, or whatever it is in a championship
Yeah.
caliber match too. I know that might piss a lot of people off or make a lot of people angry, excuse me, but this one, the crowd was shocked for a second and they're like, "Oh, all right, she won." Like, and they were happy, I think no matter who won in this match, the crowd would have been happy, but yeah, I loved that
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Well, like, and as someone who like did, you mean actual wrestling, like the way, like the position like Bailey was in, you're honestly more likely to pin someone like that than like half of the other ways people get pinned, like
Mhm.
in matches.
Right.
Like just
Right.
so I'm like technically like yeah, it wasn't like she jumped off the top rope and then you mean did a triple front flip and then landed on him and then you mean
Yeah.
like yeah, it
You didn't
wasn't
do
like
that
that.
in college?
Yeah, no, but it wasn't as exciting to watch. But I'm like, "Well, that's kind of how you would pin someone. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? That's like the a positioning,
Yeah.
countering someone. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was a good match. The Alabama slams onto the
Oh, I was gonna say
tables.
that. Yeah.
Oh man,
So good. So good. You didn't like it
yeah.
or you did?
No,
Oh,
those dope. I like those a lot. I wish that some stuff could have been a little cleaner, but for the most part, in a true threat match, in that atmosphere, like I say, where it's hard for the really hear the spots because the crowd is so loud, they did a great job. Um, I wouldn't win it any other way than it kind of did, really, because everyone still is safe, at the end of the day. Well, with the character wise, you get Bailey with a solid victory after her championship. Now she can move on to possibly Tiffany Stratton in some form, probably later on, or you still got Nia Jax coming up,
Yep. Yep.
Um, so it was a good match. I liked it.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
the next match was the
You want to come back?
men's heavyweight match. Um, I'm gonna go last on this one. I might clear out for an ISO on this at the end, but Marlon, I'll let you go first on this since you're a big Yeet fan.
We got another Ute fan here.
Yeah,
Um, the intro to this was spectacular because they did the lights, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Like
pretty
usually
cool.
they don't turn the house lights down and people's phones are glowing. So I think that's what made a big difference. Also, uh, when Jay was standing in the crowd when he came out, not a lot of people. I read that not a lot of people knew he was there because there was no Titantron or there was no big screen in the
Mm,
Mm.
stadium. So I was watching the playback and I was like, dude, this guy's like junk is like literally right on the back of your neck and like you're not turning around and like looking. So I thought I thought that could have I mean it was a great introduction is what I'm saying. The match itself I had deja vu when they were going back with the yeet versus no yeet situation. I had deja vu of WrestleMania, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh no. Like it got quiet. It got quiet compared to the first two matches, and I don't know. I'm not going to say it was a clean win because Judgment Day did interfere, but I was surprised that it ended with that little drama that it did. So, um, kudos to Damian Priest for still holding on and believing what he's doing, despite the yeets being pretty overpowering sometimes, overshadowing the match itself.
For me, I actually thought the match was pretty good. Especially compared to WrestleMania. They came
It's
out,
like the
they set a
lowest
good
bar
tempo.
though ever, dude.
But still
Sorry, I
though,
didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah.
I know WrestleMania was terrible, but like it was like, man, coming back from that and then see what they was able to do in a match between like these two guys, which were kind of like written off in a sense as far as like their skill set, as far as like being able to have matches.
Yeah,
And so seeing like Jay Uso kick it off with the interest coming out like that, the energy crazy, like he rocked out for a good like 6 or 7 minutes,
yeah.
like so that was amazing. And then the whole crowd, like I say, this PLE probably wouldn't be as great as it was if it was in somewhere else. So them being definitely in France definitely added to everything and hyped everything up more. So and then like there was spots in the match there where I think Jay took the razor's edge,
Hmm.
or he took the first South of Heaven,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then I thought it was over, and he kicked out. And I'm like, okay, he's hawking up a little bit. And so I was surprised from that. And then just the spears. I'm a fan of the jump super kick in the corner. I wish
Hmm.
they would he would highlight that more or build it up a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
That was pretty clean.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so like that, the spear I can do without. It's not the best spear, but
right,
it is what it is for Jay Uso.
right.
Mm.
The interference with Judgment Day, I knew they was gonna interfere. Well, I didn't know it was gonna be Judgment Day. I figured it'd be some type of interference coming through, whether it's gonna be Judgment Day or the Bloodline in some way.
Yeah,
That's what I had expected. But I thought the match was a lot better than some of the matches Jey Uso has had in the past. You know,
yeah,
Once again, he still lost, but I get it though, man. Like, of course, Damon Priest ain't dropping the belt 1 month after winning, but he doesn't lose clean. And the interference could have been better. I felt like they could have. Jey Uso gave you a super kick, and then you out for the rest of for like the last like 5 minutes was like Finn Balor, and it's like, dude, you're Finn Balor. You can take a couple super kicks and get back up. Um, the South of Heaven off the top rope, that was
Oh,
cool.
yeah, that was cool.
That was cool too. It could have been a little bit better too as well. But I thought I expected less out of the match, and I was pleasantly surprised by how the match progressed and went over.
right.
And I think maybe too, it just the fans just did a lot to it for me too. They
Yeah,
was in everything. Not they didn't sit down. I mean they sat down, but the energy didn't never like stop for
Hmm.
me watching them. Like just hearing them like build up, but
yeah,
everything. So that's what I said, that was cool. And then them adding more to the Judgment Day breaking up or turning on Damian Priest, later on, it's still good too to see.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
All right. What about
yeah,
you, Wade?
yeah, so I guess for me, I will say there were a few false finishes that like got me.
Uh-huh.
Where I was about to be real pissed because I thought like Jey Uso won it like on one of them. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like there had been like two interferences, I'm like, I swear to God, if they have freaking Jey Uso win this with Judgment Day helping, I'm gonna like never watch WWE again. So I was like, I was about to be heated, but Thank God they didn't do that. My issues with the Judgment Day interferences, they better have that turn quick, because otherwise, like this is like Damian Priest's first title defense,
Mhm.
and what has Jey Uso won as a singles wrestler? Nothing.
Yeah,
Like if you're looking at things like Damian Priest, I don't think has been like pinned in a match, like
Mhm.
in a singles match in like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's like you built him up as this like star, even though people are like, oh, he's a terrible Money in the Bank winner, and he like held his spot, but he was winning everything and was tag champ that whole time almost.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like you built up this guy, and then you have all this interference, and it's like if I'm looking at it objectively, there ain't no way in hell uh Jey Uso should be beating Damian Priest, or Priest doesn't need that much help to beat Jey Uso.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Jey Uso, he hasn't even won a US title. So
Right.
um that was kind of my issue with it. Like Jey Uso shouldn't have even been in the match, but it was because of CM Punk. I guess you could say the same thing about um CM Punk helped both of them, but to get to that match. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm over Jay as a singles wrestler. Like he needs to like get back with his brother like soon. Like I've seen too many bad matches with him, and this is one of the better ones, and I don't think it was particularly good. Um,
Mhm.
but I think the way his character is makes the matches worse because they have all the yeet breaks and like they're like, oh, let's put this in so people could chant in the middle of your stuff, and it like breaks up the
Yeah.
match. Um,
I think they
like
slow him down too much.
they do. Yeah, I
Mm.
think they do too cuz he's like not that slow. I think you brought up his spear. His spear's ass. It's like the worst spear in
Yeah.
WWE by
Yeah.
far. But like that jumping super kick that is sick. And I
Yeah.
like he has a good he's he's so much better as a tag wrestler that like
Man.
it's
But
but they slow him down. It's like I don't know if he like freezes out there or it's like the way they age at the matches or him. He's like, oh, I got to get my yeet stuff where I do the like arm thing
yeah,
and then I
again,
slap you in the like. uh,
I don't think it's flowing. It's not flowing him,
Yeah.
or I think like the slowing him down. I think they try to give him like five moves, five signature
Yeah.
moves, right? But the five moves that he have aren't the best signature moves,
Right.
No,
already. They they're better. That's what I said. He's way better as a tag in a tag team match with his brother because you can do tandem moves. He's a tandem move type of person. He hasn't really
Yep.
developed
Yep.
signature solo moves like that. The splash is the splash, but the splash is better when it's both of them together.
yeah, the
You
Yeah.
know,
Uso splash. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
so
yeah I
yeah,
I
outside
was
him like
watching.
fat super kicks is nothing really.
Yeah, I was watching the.
and his
I was
super
watching.
kicks not great compared to
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
virtually like it like and you guys don't watch AEW, but if you watch like a Young Bucks match, like their super kicks, and then
yeah,
you like that like ruined the Usos for me. Once I started watching AEW, I'm like, oh man, their super kicks look like ass, like compared to like the Young Bucks, because like
yeah,
half the time it's just they're way bigger guys too, and like the Young Bucks are like two of the best tag wrestlers. Like I guess people say the same thing about the Usos, but like the dynamics of the matches, you can't compare them. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know what it is because I think technically he should be a better singles wrestler, and I can't tell if it's the
Right.
character thing, the way they make the matches for him, the way he's like acting in it. It's something isn't clicking, and I feel like a lot of people, if this was in America, this match would have not been as good. It would have like some of it would have fell
yeah,
on its face, like how his match with Jimmy did. So,
yeah,
I mean that's too and I mean, I'm thinking about like the level of difficulty of Damian Priest's like spinning kick to like connect compared to a
Right.
super kick. It's like one is so much harder than the others, and Priest is
yeah,
like 6'5" and somehow doing
yeah,
that spinning kick thing. I don't know how he does it. That thing looks clean.
yeah,
So, yeah, it's just yeah, I had a lot of issues with that, and I think some of it was if you put that in the beginning, it's not as like jarring because you
Yeah.
just had like a street
Two,
fight where it's just crazy, and then you have the girls and like Tiffany Stratton's doing flips and stuff, and you got
yeah,
Naomi's athleticism, and then Bailey's just awesome at like agent like knowing where to be in a match and like
yeah,
making stuff be effective. And then you go to this, and it was I feel like pretty jarring. Um, so, but I do agree, Pierre. It was better than what I expected, but I don't think
yeah,
these guys have very good chemistry together, and um, I'm I want them to have Priest go against someone that would be a good matchup for him, like a Ricochet, someone small and fast, where like
yeah.
you have the
We can
giant,
highlight stuff. Yeah,
yeah, the dynamic is better, or another big guy where like he has to like where he's a baby face and has to like hulk up to be able to like do these things. But
yeah.
just yeah, I
Bro,
don't know.
imagine Dijak versus Priest.
That'd be a sick match.
That'd be insane.
Or Ilya Dragunov,
Or Ilya
another person.
Dragunov. Yeah.
But Dijak would be sick. Dijak is the perfect person for that,
Yeah.
actually.
What about Corbin versus Priest?
No, that'd be terrible. It's like a
And then like I like Jey Uso, so I just don't want to just dump on him like that because I
Right.
feel like it's not entirely him. I think it's the system. I think it's more so the system that they put him in because he gotten over. He got the Yeet thing over on his own. You know, like everyone saw the Yeet thing working, and then they got behind it, but that was him initially.
Yeah.
You know, and so having the crowd get all into that with the bounce and everything, like you have like the biggest part already down already, man. Like you had the crowd participation, and now the match just doesn't follow it. And I,
Right.
I just think it's just like I think it's the system that they put him in. Like you like I say, it's the five moves that you try to put every guy with. But if your five moves aren't up to par, then it's just like what do you got? If can we even name if we name his five moves the super kick, the Uso
does
corner
he have
slash.
five? I don't know if he has five.
He's got the
Um,
yeet punches. He's got the yeet punches plus the wave,
He's
right?
got less moves than
yeah,
LA Knight, guys. Come on.
yeah,
Let's not like.
and
I
then
mean, he's LA Knight. I make fun of LA Knight in ring, and LA Knight is better than Jey Uso
Yeah.
in
yeah,
ring.
Yeah.
and
Jay
then
do
they,
hip
So
they try to
attack?
call him.
hip attack. Yeah, he does that. Pierre. So you got a good point there with him getting over, but I'm
Yeah,
playing devil. I think some of it, yes, he got over, but how much was it that the Bloodline story was so damn good? It's like the best
yeah,
story in wrestling, and the crowd is behind him because of what he went through in the Bloodline.
yeah.
Because like, I, and then yeah, the Yeet thing, like him being drunk and like that was kind of like a fluke thing, but whatever. It like worked, and he's popular, but I mean, uh, I can't think of a single good promo
No,
he's had since he left
the bloodline.
Bloodline.
Yeah,
Um, and like some of it is because the Yeet thing got over and he went too far into that, but I there hasn't been a promo that's been good in my opinion. Like he's been fine and he's over, but and like shoot, if I'm there, I'm gonna be doing the arm thing too. But it's
I
like,
got you on video doing it.
I mean, dude, like, yeah,
I think because Jay Uso's character might not necessarily be a fan like friendly type of character because when you look at Jay Uso, he's supposed to be more edgy. He's an edgier type of character, like the Uso
yeah.
Penitentiary. You know, so when they were doing the Uso Penitentiary stuff, it came off like rugged. You know, more street.
Hmm.
Like I don't think he knows how to translate that into the mainstream. The outside of the Yeast stuff, that translates all over because everyone just bought into that. But like I say, when the promos and stuff like that, it's like, what can he say? You know, like I think he's missing that person's feet off of in a promo. It's just even back and forth. He can't. The chemistry is never there with anyone else. I think he's been so used to being amongst his family, like you say, that you can't really build up chemistry outside with anyone else. That press conference, which was just
everyone has
Well,
chemistry with Cody though.
yeah,
Like it's impossible to not have chemistry with Cody. Like I think the Yeet thing, like honestly, like to me that press conference, like Jay was funny, but like just Cody's like weirdness of like, do you feel him, sir? Like just like it's like, so, yeah. I mean, that's like the best press conference ever. Like to be honest, but
I actually didn't
yeah,
watch like the
I
whole
mean,
video, and I got bored.
yeah. So I'm not. I'm out on Jay personally as a singles person, but I was never like on him completely.
Yeah,
I like Priest a lot, so I'm a bit biased, but I've seen Priest like freaking do a whole match with Bad Bunny that was awesome, and Bad Bunny can't even wrestle. I've seen him like as a tag wrestler. Yeah, that's a sick shirt. As a tag wrestler, um, dude, I think Priest is a really good tag wrestler too. Like his stuff with like Finn, like those every Judgment Day tag match, the last 5 minutes is nuts every
yeah,
time. Like they are. I think he's
They're a
especially with
wrecking
how
crew,
big.
dude.
Yeah, and especially with how big Priest is, like he moves pretty damn good for a giant
yeah.
guy.
Mhm.
So I'm
And
not out on.
I feel like he slowed himself down too as well because I
Yeah,
think
he does a
he
little bit
yeah
because
because
like
he's more athletic yeah
the last 5 minutes of a tag. Yeah, I've just seen him have better matches, so I mean, we'll
yeah
see. But um
So we know that
net
you're out on Jay, which is fine. Thanks for telling us.
yeah, I think everyone who knows me knows I'm out on Jay though. Like I like him, I don't think he's a cool dude, but yeah, just like as a singles guy, I'm like I'm out, dog. Like we
Yeah.
spent
Well,
a
real quick
lot
though,
of.
before we switch, what do you think would be needed to make Jay a better singles person?
How much time you got?
It-
Can we gonna do a
it-
whole other podcast?
it-
Promos, the things in between moves,
Yeah.
speed. Because
Speed.
he's
Yep.
not like if Priest is a little bit slower, he's like a head taller than Jey Uso. If
Right.
you're a giant freaking dude, I'm
Mhm.
kind of cool with you being a little bit slower, and even then his footwork and everything is much better. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, promos. I mean uh, the spear's the worst spear in wrestling of a like on a main like thing
Yeah,
as a finisher.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's the character thing. He's too much into the yeet thing, so it takes me out of the matches. I think if he just did that, I think then we may have something. But the matches are too choppy and there's no
Yeah.
flow at all. Um,
Yeah.
I,
For me, it's predictability. Like,
yeah,
it's predictability. It's like, all right, here comes this one, here comes this one. All right, he did the dance. Let's go. But if like whenever I would see Roman incorporate like technical wrestling stuff in his matches, even though he's like pretty much a demigod, and I'm like, oh, okay, he still knows how to do a freaking, I don't know, like a suplex or a superplex, or he could still
hmm
do that. But if I saw Jay doing more of that, I think that it would just add more versus just
yeah.
giving the crowd what they want, the crowd pleasing, which is fine. And WWE is smart for hacking the bone, the exposed bone, but like if Jay would do more of those things, like I would be like, okay, cool. He's a good wrestler too, you know?
Like
okay,
if you're gonna slow things down, I mean, slow it down and do a submission or something. But like
Right,
it's just
right,
slow to be slow. And
right,
nothing he's doing is injuring the
right.
person.
of course,
So
yeah,
it's like um and yeah, like in the match, he's like doing the hand thing like during the match, and I'm like, dog, like if you're supposed to be the baby face too, like I don't know. There's just like a lot of the dynamics, but um, he's had some matches I've liked, but generally
yeah,
most of them are like tag
Yep.
things and yeah, once the yeet thing happened, I was like pretty out 100%. Like it just got real annoying to me, but I'll still say it. So I just think Jimmy's a better character actor than Jay.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, I think is funny. I don't think Jay's funny.
Yeah.
hmm
Like Jay's
Jay
better in
Jay's
ring
better.
though.
He was
Yeah.
better when he was upset. He was mad
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah that
Yeah.
was the best day when the interaction between him and Sammy all the time
Yeah, that
like
was really good.
it was always great to see. You know.
Yeah, Sammy's the
Yeah.
one who brought the baby face out of Jay. Sammy's the one
Yeah.
who did, who put heart in Jay.
Um all right. Women's tag match. Um we had this is uh man, I don't even know how to like critique this in that one. I know all of us are gonna be like that one part where like everyone was lost for like 3 minutes and it felt like 30 minutes. But we have new champions, Jade and Bianca. They let Jade wrestle more, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that was a
Yeah.
good thing. Cause that
more
one
than
part
10 bumps.
no bumps, like she did not like she flat backed like one time, dude. Like getting fake kicked is
Really?
not a yeah, not getting
Yeah.
fit maybe 3 bumps, but like she didn't like she was getting
Yeah,
like fake kicked. Like I don't consider that an actual bump, but I think if you're getting like slammed on the mat, that's like yeah, I thought I don't know. I still can't figure it out because I've rewatched some of the stuff. I don't know if the ref messed everything up
right,
or like Kyrie Sane did. I do know
right.
Kyrie Sane took like 300 bumps in that match. So like if she
Yeah,
got a little confused, she was getting ragdolled all over the place. So like if someone's gonna get like a little bit mixed up, like I thought Kyrie was really good in that match. Like she was just
Yeah.
getting her crap rocked. So I'm like, and then there's a language barrier thing too. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so for
And then the crowd.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, and the crowd's loud, and the ref just let him freaking wrestle. Like I don't, because he basically was like, "Hey, you're not the correct
you're not the legal
wrestler,"
person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they tagged, and he's like, "All right, you're legal," and technically Kyrie
No,
was
she's
the
not.
person who got hit, so then she should be legal again. Like, because
right.
Yeah.
Asuka hit her, and I'm like, what the like, and he's like, all right, Asuka's in. I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, like just whatever. But
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I thought this was honestly, other than that, whatever happened there, if it was Kyrie's fault or not, but I thought this is the best Kyrie Sane's looked.
in
Hmm.
a
Um,
while.
in a like I think the whole
Hmm.
time she's been back in WWE. Those
Hmm.
are some wild bumps. I don't know if it's because Asuka's banged up and they're like, "All right, Kyrie, you have to get beat up for
You're
like
taking it.
the whole
Yeah,
match." Uh, so uh, Bianca and her were like bumping like champs. So
Yeah.
other than that 3 minute part, which I cannot ignore, but I like that was terrible that part
Yeah.
because no one knew what the
'Cause I
hell was
feel
going
like
on.
once that happened, you just focus in. You was just zoomed in on everything else that was going on. But it was still what Kyrie and Bianca in the ring. You got the referee still like
It was
saying
Jade
stuff
in
to
the
them.
ring.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you still got the ref still saying stuff to him. I think he's still trying to tell him what needs to happen. And
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
still like it's not clicking, it's not registering. And then say you get Kyrie by the corner by Oscar, she tags in and it's like, well, no, dude, that's still like you say, it's still not right. You
right.
know, like
Yeah. I mean, technically, I think that means if you're not the legal person or the legal person hits you, now
You're
you're
in.
the legal person, right?
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
think
yeah,
like
but
yeah,
you have to get out though. You still have to get out.
yeah, I mean,
Kyrie will still need
technically
to
they
get out.
should have been
yeah,
counted out for not following the directions and they
Yeah.
should have like if you're following it exactly, um and I don't know if the ref maybe didn't see a tag either. Like I
Yeah,
could
maybe we didn't see it. Yeah. It could have
maybe
been
there
that though.
was,
mm,
but yeah, that's one of those things I'm like, just let them. They usually do in the tags. They're like, whatever, just let them
yeah,
Yeah.
wrestle. But like, I do think this is good for Jade to have that situation where like, because I think every other match has been like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I mean, she's wrestled like what, 45 seconds complete,
Yeah.
like
right.
before this. So uh, I'm like. She was lost, but like I could understand why you would get lost in that situation. You do need to
Yeah.
be able to improvise better. Like I feel like
Yeah,
that's I mean, you're new but not that new. You should be able to improvise
yeah,
I,
some.
I feel like they would even been hiding her for a reason for this long. I feel like they've seen something in with her that isn't right yet, but they can't just sit back and wait for her to put her out. They had to
Yeah.
put her out
I mean,
eventually,
it's been
unless
damn
they
near
go away.
almost a year, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we got to do something with you. We spent money on you, whatever. So we got to do something with you. You're a big name signing, so we got to put you out there, even if you're not fully ready. Like I didn't expect them. I expect them to win the tag team championships, but not this soon. You just guys just formed a tag team. Where's
Yeah.
the build of the chemistry? Where's the build of like y'all actually being an actual like team? And
Right.
getting the stuff behind you. Um, the instant you come out and you had what two matches together as a team before,
Hmm.
but just them two.
Right.
And then you got the match at WrestleMania with the 3-on-3. Then y'all come out to Backlash and then y'all win. Uh, I felt like there was a lot of the same moves repeatedly doing over and over again. So I kept saying like spine busters
Yeah.
or
So
the big boot or kick or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, her
They
pump
did a lot of
kick.
those.
It looks cool
Yeah,
though. Her pump kick
Yeah.
looks good, and that
Her
weird
splashes
spine
were all right.
buster. That yeah, the crossbody like thing
yeah.
look. But yeah, she's got yeah. I mean, I will say the finish, like once they got to it, that was
That
sick.
was dope. Yeah. So
Uh
I'm looking forward to more of them doing more tandem moves together. 'Cause I feel like they have them. I saw
Right.
some clip where Gawk would do like the springboard with like the flip and Jay Clotter and
Yeah.
then planting
yeah.
right down. So
Yeah.
I know they got moves ready for them to do stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I just it's just gonna take time. I just don't know how much patience that we have to watch Jay put on performances like that. They might not be up to par to WWE, main roster status. Even though we just talked about Jey Uso, but I feel like it's kind of like different. I feel like the
Well,
opportunity, or I feel like it might be less tolerance or patience with Jay as opposed to like say with Jey Uso or something like that.
I mean, they also had a 3-year story with Jey Uso that's like the best story they ever have for WWE.
Yeah,
So if you do that with Jade, then sure, I'll give it like a little bit more. Uh, I her character work with stuff with Bianca, like where Bianca's still like pissed at Bailey and all of that, and you kind of
yeah.
like I'm actually digging that dynamic. But what'd you think of the match, Marlon? Because
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah,
dunking on
no, it was
it.
well, going back to what you said about the Kabuki Warriors and Kyrie, great work. I love the spots that they did, the insane elbow, while being held in I guess the precursor to the Crossroads. Just I loved that. And then because going into this match, I was like, I haven't seen the Kabuki Warriors do
In a while.
much or be
Not a good match
yeah,
either.
not a good
No.
match. Yeah, even their NXT stuff, I was like, what is happening here?
Wait, that was bad.
So
That
yeah,
was not good. That was not
was
good.
it? So I was pleasantly surprised to see them do and execute. And like you said, Kyrie, I think took the majority of those bumps.
Dude.
Mhm.
Um, so definitely had some spots. And then, like you said, Pierre, I wish that it was kind of like when Jey Uso and Cody first formed a tag team. I was like, this isn't a tag team. Like they don't even got like a move together yet or anything like that.
Yeah,
So, and then they gave them the championship so fast too. I saw you
They
smelling
did like the
yourself, Thomas.
1D cutter, like where like
Yeah.
Cody would almost die every time doing it because it's like so
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. It's so freaking high up. And then so I wish that I want to see more collaboration and more like collaborative move sets together from Jade and Bianca. And then I just kudos to the Kabuki Warriors, man.
Woodward.
So yeah, I liked the match overall. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, other thing with Jade, like everything that looked cool. Who was it on? The person that
Kyrie.
weighed 80 pounds.
Yes,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like, dog, like and obviously like I'm a guy, but like I'm pretty sure Jade could probably and I could lift a decent amount. I bet Jade could probably lift almost as much as me. And like lifting an 80-pound person, like you're gonna be
Yeah,
looking like a boss. So like
yeah,
yeah,
and again, like cool, you're like making her look like a star. I'm good with that. But like the end was sick. Like
yeah.
Jade did things that like impressed me. I like the new backbreaker
yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
The finish was cool. That was other than that, yeah, the Kabuki Warriors have been a bit disappointing to me, but I think Asuka's been hurt, and I don't know
Hmm.
what was going on with Kyrie. It took her like a bit to adjust because her stardom stuff before she went back to WWE was freaking sick. Like she had like and she'd have to wrestle 100 times harder than WWE style. They're like actually legit punching each other. So
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what, but she looked overall like WrestleMania and this. I thought Kyrie looked pretty good. So I mean, I'd like a babyface run out of her. I think that's when her character is the best. And like singles, I think she's a really good singles
Way better.
wrestler. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see with Jade and Bianca. They got time, but I don't who the hell is she gonna wrestle? Chelsea Green and Piper Niven 500 times? They got no tag women's tag teams over there.
Yeah, not on SmackDown. What? No, I mean they can move around, so they get to move
Yeah,
around.
they
So
can. That's true.
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna have to move them around a lot
yeah.
because Raw has all of them.
But that's why I would hope for them to do at least with these tag team championships. Those are kind of the championships that
Yeah,
weren't really defended at
they were.
all. You know,
Yeah,
the
because
Warriors
they
had
got
them for a
the
minute. Yeah, you didn't see nothing done with them. You know, so
because over on I guess they have oh gosh they have Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell over on SmackDown now.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, they better bring him over to Raw because the witches that like they never push that are actually sick.
yeah,
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they're over on Raw now. You got the Party Girls, they're on Raw. You have Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, they're on Raw.
yeah,
Like the legit women's tag teams are all on Raw. So, I mean, I guess that's cool if they actually do what they're supposed to do, but I mean, I barely saw Kabuki Warriors were supposed to be on Raw and what we
yeah.
see him like once.
No, yeah. I think they mainly just they just stayed on SmackDown, and then because everyone came to the Kabuki Warriors, except when they went to NXT that one time.
They did go to Raw for Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, I think. I think they did. I think they were only on
Yeah,
one time though. But
and I felt like they underutilized too in WWE. 'Cause like say, Oscar is Oscar, and Kairi Sane is Kairi Sane, no matter what, you know. So like, and them together have good collaborative tag team moves.
they're
We
funny
saw that today.
too. Like I
Yeah.
think they have good personalities too. Like I think that was part of the thing. They've been like joking around, but I think like Kyrie's pretty funny. Like I forgot
Mhm.
whose face was like out of the ropes like the other day, and then she goes, "Oh, it was last night on SmackDown." She's like, "Bah!" Like just like laughing at the person, and I was like dying. But yeah, I think they're cool. I'm interested to see what they do with them next because that Raw division because Kabuki Warriors are on Raw now too.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
like stacked
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
um so we'll see with that. Final match Cody versus AJ Styles who like went in a hyperbaric chamber and rewound time somehow.
Just
Uh
cold plunges, man. Come on, cold plunges
what the hell?
and jumping
Uh
rope.
But yeah, Pierre, what do you think of this match?
AJ Styles came out looking like the AJ Undertaker, uh, with the purple and black on, which I actually did that a lot. That was pretty dope. Um, Once again, it's another predictable match. You know, I mean, we knew that Cody was gonna lose. You spent 2 years trying to finish the story.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna, you're gonna lose in a month. Um, I wish they would have had more build to it. And this has been the most I ever heard any mention of the Bullet Club ever since the whole entire time. Gallows and Anderson been here. That I mean, the
Hmm.
actual like phrase like Bullet Club. You
Right.
know, before it used to be. I think Corey Graves might have slipped up like one time a while ago and said like Bullet Club, and then they just never went back to
Yeah,
that ever
they
again.
weren't allowed to talk about anything
Yeah,
I
like
was gonna
New
say it's
Japan
probably
at
a
all.
Vince thing.
Because
yeah. So
Finn
like
Balor was like
it,
the original leader, and
Yeah.
they didn't even mention him when they're talking about Bullet Club people. I'm like, why don't you mention like the guy who was like the OG leader? Like, because they're talking about Anderson and stuff. I'm like, freaking Finn was like the original boss of it. But yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, so for them to be mentioning that, I wish they would have played more into that, right? But
Yeah.
they waited too long to even build to it. I hope that this isn't the last match between the two of them. I feel like there can be
Yeah.
some more done to that. It was too much respect for me, build up wise, and maybe even they just try to push AJ Styles as the heel and being disrespectful. All you did was just slap Cody Rhodes once in the press conference
Yeah.
or in like the kickoff or whatever. So it's like, dude, like let AJ Styles go more into the heel character if he's going to be a heel. Let him do some more stuff, you know. But all in all, like the match was solid. Uh, I couldn't expect any less from Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, especially on this main stage. Both of those guys aren't bumps no matter what, anyway. You know. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good match.
Marlon, what'd you
A
think?
lot of great spots that I loved. I loved a lot of the signature moves and the finishers and the back and forth. Um, whether it be the Pele kick or the what was the one? The Cody Cutter from the top rope.
Oh, that was
Um,
sick.
I loved that. And then AJ had the not the phenomenal no, the springboard 450.
Yeah,
I loved that. The part that I mean, these guys are what Georgia raised and
Georgia
they
boy.
have the fundamentals of wrestling down. They've been doing it for how long? So you know it was going to be a good technical match. It wasn't. It kind of reminded me of the Iron Man match between HBK and Brett as far as like
Mm-hmm.
style goes. It wasn't as dragging though, compared to that. But I loved the back and forth spots, and it was believable. And the fact that AJ Styles had the crowd shaking the building.
Oh yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
reception for him. I was so like happy for him to kind of just get this second wind or third, whatever wind it is. I love that. And then Cody, firing up the crowd too. So everything was justified. Everything was well worth it. There was one part of the match that I didn't like is when I think it was after AJ got a near fall or after he did a signature move, and then Cody stood up right away. Which we could podcast about this. What are your wrestling pet peeves?
Are you talking
It's
about
the
the
quick
burning hammer?
recovery. I think
The
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kick
it was a
out at
burning
one
hammer,
on the
right?
burning hammer that was like uh Kenta Kobayashi's like finishing move he only did 8 times because it was so lethal. Yeah.
Right. Then you could just stand up right after that. Not only are you going to stand up, but you're going to continue. I mean, back in the day when I would watch wrestling, if there was a desperation recovery, the person would go back down as soon as he executed the move. Like, but that's a overall a wrestling pet peeve of mine that's going on today. But um, I loved the match way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I felt the same. I had low expectations for this.
Yeah,
I I, I mean it really had like 3 star like floor to be honest, but I thought
yeah,
it had like you mean 3 and 3/4 star ceiling in my opinion. Like I was like, yeah, it's like I'm
yeah.
not gonna
It's a good way to look
whatever.
at it.
There's not been a single AJ Styles match that I've liked in like years.
Right.
Like that I can think of. So that I thought is like impressive. Like I mean, he could have like 4 star match or something like but I've his athleticism's not quite the same and
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
he just wrestled so crazy for all those years. It's like there's no way that's not going to mess up your body. Like I get it, man. He's old as hell too. So, but I mean, dude, I was like really impressed. This was like way outdid. I was fine. The burning hammer thing, like I'm kind of fine with it. I thought it was like because when he hit it, I was like, oh damn, and then like Cody
Yeah.
kicked out. I was like, oh no, I was like, what the hell? Like, so I was kind of like I get why people would be mad about it, but like in the moment, I was like I got hyped up from it to be
Nice.
honest. Like
Nice.
but I can your point of like being annoyed by it is like very justified, but that was a way better match than
Yeah.
I had expected.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to see it again or with the different steps on it?
No steps. I don't think they need step. I mean, Cody's psycho. Like he'll do like a crazy step. Like, but I'm good with that being the one match that they have. And
Mm-hmm.
you were bringing up the gear, so I guess that was like the colors and stuff that AJ wore when he beat Cody's dad when they wrestled.
Oh,
So
Oh,
yeah, it was like a
nice.
throwback to him beating Dusty. So that's I think that's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
But yeah, the build was terrible. Like objectively, like you mean
Yeah.
1 out of 10? Like I like
Yeah.
it was like milk toast. I'm like, what is going on here? Like they're
They had like
like
less than 2 weeks to build this thing.
oh,
Yeah,
dude, you could have done something. Show up to the dude's
Yeah.
house in Georgia or something and light it on
Yeah,
fire. I don't know,
exactly.
do something crazy. Like, I don't know, pee on his car, something like just like it was weird. There's too much respect and AJ's supposed to be a heel, just like go all into it. I don't
yeah,
understand what the um so yeah, I was into the match and I thought I would be like, nah, whatever on it, but it was good. Um Yeah, the crowd. Apparently that song is like some soccer song that says phenomenal in it or it's called phenomenal or something. Like so. But yeah, AJ was I don't know, that's the best match he's had in a long time to me. So I don't know about you
yeah,
Yeah.
guys, but
yeah. No,
No, I
I thought it
uh
agree.
was dope. Yeah,
yeah, overall, I mean good pay-per-view or PLE.
yeah,
So
I'd say so too.
yeah.
um
7.5 out of 10.
I think so.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say about
7,
that.
7.5. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean it's no you mean WrestleMania 40, but hey, or
Definitely some odd
Dynasty.
spots. Definitely some
A
odd spots. Yeah, it was no dynasty for sure.
yeah, AEW Dynasty is certainly like a lot better than this, but
Oh,
like that was like a 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, I thought yeah, this is pretty good. Um I hope because they're breaking all these records with like this is the largest gate they've ever had in an arena.
mhm,
And they did a terrible build. I hope they don't get complacent. Like, oh, we'll just, you mean, for the next few months, they're all like foreign, you mean, PLEs. Like, we're just going to build them like ass. Because
yeah,
yeah.
every
Yeah.
match, I give them a bit of a break. It's like 3 weeks after WrestleMania, but I mean, these were pretty terrible. And King and Queen of the Ring is like a tournament. So that does itself. So, I
Right.
mean, they better be bringing the heat after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been talking for a while, so I'm good with
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what we said. But anything else, guys?
No, man, that's it for me. I'm pretty much good. We can
Yeah.
catch up on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Catch up
for
on
sure.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
I know Pierre's got his podcast consistently going. Um, I've been under the weather. I'm trying to stay consistent as well with just content online as well. And then Thomas, I know you got your new or Wade, you got your new profile out there.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I'm about to be wrestling, taking wrestling classes too. So
Oh
I'll
yeah.
be getting
Yeah.
chopped two times, twice,
Show us the
Mondays and
handprint.
Wednesday. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys the handprints soon.
Show us the
So,
handprint if
dude, I had to
possible.
send in like pictures of me in like shorts and t-shirt, like showing that I'm not fat and stuff to the thing. So, uh, like show us you're in shape. I'm like, am I supposed to be naked or like what? Like, I was like unsure of how clothed I was supposed to be. Uh, so, but yeah,
Cool,
guys,
man.
yeah. Overall, like, yeah, that was good PLE. Everyone that's watching, please like and subscribe.
Yes,
And
I will.
you
yeah,
too.
yeah, thank you. All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right, guys. We'll
Bye,
see
guys.
you.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, bye.